Welcome to the Skull Report. We have all your latest wrestling and sports news. We have contests. We have the Dumbass Award. We have Smoking with Shady. We have it all. So without further ado, let me introduce you to the gang of the Skull Report. First, the host with the most, the cigarette smoking son of a gun, who won't back down from a challenge, Jen. Our next co-host, the man, the Packer fan, BG Money. Our next co-host, the man, the myth, the legend, Ralph Swagger. Our next co-host, the man that would do anything for a Klondike bar, and I know this, I have proof of it, Mad Dog Justin Hicks. And last, but certainly not least, the man behind the smoke, Shady. Now let's get the show on the road. Welcome to the Skull Report. We are missing a few people. There's a few things going on this week. First of all, from the Skull Report, we want to wish all of our American viewers a very safe and happy 4th of July weekend. I've been hearing fireworks outside my window for the last hour, so people are starting to celebrate a little early. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, definitely. They're they already started here last night. You know, you got the mortar rounds going off already. You know, you got a little bit of gunshots going in the backwoods behind us. You know, it's just going to be an exciting weekend already.
Oh, without a doubt. Um, I'm older, so I'm more of a homebody. So I'm not sure what I got going on tomorrow night, but I do enjoy my fireworks. But I'm just too old to go sit in traffic at different places. You know,
Oh,
that's
definitely.
that's the biggest thing. We do have a jam-packed show for you guys tonight. I know that Shady unfortunately cannot make it, so we will not have Smoking with Shady tonight. Justin has some stuff going on, which is his personal stuff, so we're not going to broadcast it. He probably stole a 12-pack of Klondike bars from somebody or something.
Yeah.
But he'll be, hopefully the whole gang will be back next week. I believe that Ralph Swagger may be joining us at some point tonight, hopefully for a NASCAR report. But before we get started, I just want to say I want to show these off. Let me put it. Let me show these off. This are the chips from SWA, from the Vendetta and the Rowdy Roulette. I want to thank Rick for ordering those and getting those out to me, and a few other people I know ordered them. They are perfect. Before we get started with all your wrestling and sports news, me and BG Money have an important announcement about something that's going on here at the Skull Report. We so appreciate all the support we get from our fans who tune in every week to watch us. We want to give something back to the community. So what we've decided, and I'm going to set all this up, this is going to start in August, guys. We're going to be raising money for different charities and foundations and stuff. In August, we're going to be raising money for the SMA Foundation. They take care of spinal muscular atrophy, which is a very deadly disease. Matter of fact, I was reading a little bit of information that some people only live about 18 months after receiving their diagnosis. very scary thing to go through. But we here at the Skull Report want to raise awareness of this disease, and we want to help out the SMA Foundation. So more details will be coming. BG Money, what do you got to say about the Skull Report taking on this?
Well, with the Skull Report taking on something like this, it shows everybody that tunes in that we care about their health, their well-being, and how we can help people, throughout the world that needs help by,
Yep.
having people give a little bit back for
Exactly.
us to show our viewers and everybody else that we truly care. And it will put our name out there along with are willing to do this with us. It's a big movement for the Skull Report to do this, and I, on behalf of the Skull Report, will be honored for people to join us with this movement that will start next month.
Ralph Swagger, welcome to the Skull Report, my friend.
Ralph Swagger, how's it going, buddy?
Good evening, everybody. As you see, I'm wearing something that I rarely wear, which is a white shirt. But not only is it a white shirt, it's a white Andre the Giant shirt.
All right.
Hold on, wait a minute. Dr. Dre stole Andre the Giant's design from his shirt for his Chronic album. I knew it.
This the weird thing about it. I ordered this from ProWrestlingTees.com. Not the shirt. No, it was a grab bag shirt. And I had ordered. I think the last two times I ordered one shirt I wanted, and I got a grab bag shirt.
Yeah.
Both shirts came in, and both grab bag shirts were Andre the Giant. So I have two of these.
Yes, please. Fans of the Skull Report, you're a wrestling fan, ProWrestlingTees.com. Go there, check them out. They have some great items. They have new items like once a week. I think every week they add there you go, thank you. Once a week they add in new shirts. They're awesome. Rob, what we were discussing before you popped on was that every month the Skull Report will be hosting a campaign to raise money for different charities and foundations for the community. This will start in August. For the people that already listen, I apologize repeating it. But in the month of August, we're going to be donating to the SMA Foundation, which is spinal muscular atrophy. It's a very bad disease that hopefully we can help them, with the Skull Report community, with the help of the Skull Report community. Every month we'll find a foundation or a charity to raise money for. We want to give back to the community for what the community has done for us here at the Skull Report, simply by tuning in every week and listening to us talk about the sports and the wrestling news and pick on each other and everything like that. So, Ralph, your ideas on that, as a member of the Skull Report?
I think that's a great idea. It's nice to give back to the community in any way, shape, or form, monetarily, doing through volunteerism, whatever you can do to help make this world a better place. I mean, I'm all for it. So, excuse me. So, starting in August, giving to SMA, that's great. I'm all for it.
All right. Oh, and also, Ralph, let me put it on the big screen here. I got my chip from
That's
SWA.
nice.
Um, they're awesome. I think they're very quality made. Um, but like I said, we got a jam-packed show tonight. We got a lot going on. All right. Wow. He got his. All right. So we love to support SWA as we're all three part of it. Matter of fact, Ralph, I just want to say to you that my condolences on dropping the SWA world title. But
Yeah, about that. I mean, when you got not Methuselah, but Methuselah Junior. You know, like I said,
I
I
forgot
don't blame
what
him.
city was it in again?
I don't blame Methuselah Junior for cashing in this briefcase. Because if we had a chance to do the same thing, we would do it. I know I would do the same thing. Now, in fact, I have done that plenty of times. We cashed in. It's just the fact that he stole the opportunity that his son had. But I think in the grand scheme of things, this was all a big ass setup from the beginning. So that just let you know right there that one, Dave is scared of me anyway. He's scared to face me 1-on-1. Because he know that he's gonna come up on the short end of the stick. As great as he says he is, he knows when he goes up against Brown Swagger, he will come up short. So he had
It's a
elaborate
damn
plan.
screw job, I tell you.
Brings his sons in, brings his quote unquote big mama in to thwart me. Okay, well, like I said, the plan worked, but like I said, before the end of this year, before 2021 is up, I would get that belt back. No, none against Damian Venom, none against Crowley, none against anybody else in SWA that won side of the world title. That title coming back, that's the title's coming back to me.
mhm.
And that's all I gotta say about it.
All right. Well, like I said earlier, we do have an action-packed show tonight. Let's first head into the main stories, the main sport going on.
AC versus Houston.
They won. I wasn't the one they were chasing. Somehow I just was along for the ride. I knew the fate.
Woo. All right. First of all, let me give you a quick score update. The Bucks are up 47-43 at halftime. The Bucks are going for the first NBA Finals since 1974. They are without Giannis. That how you pronounce his name? I apologize.
Giannis.
Yeah,
They are without him tonight. Trae Young is back after a injury. So this should be very interesting. You guys' thoughts on this game? I mean, we're here at the end. We're getting ready to go into the finals, and it's come down to this.
You know, with the Bucks without Giannis, they're doing a fantastic job on the court and off the court. A lot of people saying, "Oh, the Bucks need Giannis to make it somewhere." Well, they're proving them wrong right now. They're
Exactly.
proving Atlanta that they got the talent, and Atlanta's also proved that they got the talent without Trae Young.
Mm-hmm.
But in the long run, one team's going to come up short, and the other team's going to the NBA Finals.
Yeah, because see, the last time the Bucks were in the NBA Finals, Milwaukee was in the Western Conference. Right? They weren't even in the Eastern Conference. They were in the Western Conference, and their two top stars were Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. If he was still known as, if he had changed his name to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, then he was also known. His real name was Lou Alcindor and Oscar Robertson. They were the two top players there. I mean, they lost in 7 games to the Celtics back then. I think that even though Trey Young is back, that kind of makes the roster the rosters a little bit even. But I do, and to where Atlanta should beat them and take it to a game 7. But I look at Milwaukee as I look to Milwaukee to win this, and it's as much as they got to overcome this upstart Atlanta team. Phoenix is more, they're more well-rounded. They're going to be more rested. Chris Paul is going to be more rested to where Phoenix is going to take it. I don't know. I'm not going to say how many games they'll take it. But Phoenix is going to be winning this championship. The NBA championship is for Phoenix to lose. Nothing against Atlanta, great team what they're running. Nothing against Milwaukee, but this is a strange as everything is coming out of this pandemic here. Every season is strange. Every season is changing, but somebody got to rise up and take advantage. Phoenix is doing that. So,
well, the Bucks have a lot of confidence going into this, even without their key player in the game tonight. They just started back up, and the Bucks are up by 10, 55-45, with 9:50 left in the third. We talked about this before, how in the NBA, we talked about this when it comes down to LeBron James, Steph Curry. These guys, yes, they're great players without a doubt, and they're a key to their teams. But one player doesn't make the entire team. It's an effort by everybody. And the Bucks are proving that, even tonight being up by 10, that they're a solid team.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. I caught the glimpse of the last game between the Suns, and that was a fantastic game. And I agree with what they were saying in the Sports Center, that Chris Paul is playoff Paul and playoff P, and then you had the little dispute on where Chris Paul walked past Barley is his name, that plays for the Clippers.
Okay.
And he pushed Chris Paul to the floor, but Chris Paul didn't say anything to him. He just gave him a look and was walking past him to celebrate. Like,
Beverly did. Okay. Yeah.
Beverly, obviously had something against Chris Paul, but nobody knows. But they're taking that seriously, because why would you do it? Why would you put your hands on another teammate on a different team because you lost? Jealousy does kick in. The other team's celebrating. It's the inevitable thing. You just gotta shake the team, the other team's hands, say, good luck, best of luck next year. Ignore on.
Exactly, and it shows the mentality of him to act like that after in that situation after losing the game. Yeah, I mean, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the Phoenix Suns, who, I'll be honest with you, beginning of the season, I did not expect to see them in the position that they're in right now. I read an article on ESPN where they were talking about how this redefined Chris Paul's legacy.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're right. I mean, this is what people like Chris Paul have worked for your entire career. It doesn't matter. This is what you aim for when you join the NBA. You aim to at least get into the finals and have a chance at the championship. I personally, I'm gonna call it right now, and I'm gonna let's say for a fact the Bucks pull it off tonight and this series. I'm going for the Bucks to win it all. I think it will come down to Game 6, Game 7 with the Suns, because the Suns they're going to be rested, but they're ready, and Chris Paul is ready, and he has his team rallying, for this. My money's still on the Milwaukee Bucks, but you guys' just thoughts on the Phoenix Suns going this far. I mean, I know I wasn't expecting it.
At the beginning of the season, nobody expected the Suns to go anywhere, especially not to the NBA Finals. Now they're in the NBA Finals, awaiting the Bucks or the Hawks. One team's going to be a lot more rested, while the other team's going to get a little rested, and they go right back into another game where it could be is the team that got a little rest is the one going to come out on top with the one team that had a lot more rest. It's not like the NBA Finals we're used to seeing, where Kobe was in the NBA Finals back in 2009, awaiting for Boston to come join them, and you see how many games that went. One team had a lot more rest than the other team, but you gotta have that mentality to work through what's going through your mind and focus on the game.
Well, let me point this out, and I'll get both of your opinions on this. Yes, if the Bucks win tonight, which I think they will, and the Suns have already clinched their spot in the finals, so the Suns are going to be more rested. But do you think Milwaukee's going to have more momentum going in? Because, and maybe the Suns will be, how can I say this best, too rested, and won't have the momentum going into the finals like Milwaukee will have, because they're going to, you see my point, guys? You see what I'm trying to get at?
Well, I think, true, Milwaukee will have the momentum coming into the finals. But as far as, but Phoenix will be more rested. Giannis, he has a high extended knee. That will kind of help, but he's, but as far as him starting game one, it just depends on how soon NBA starts the finals. If they start the finals at the end of next week, that may help Giannis out. But if they start in the middle of the week, he's gonna be a game time decision, because it's not gonna be, it's too soon for him. It'll be too soon for him to start trying to run on that knee, because all it takes is one wrong turn on that knee, or he'll coming down wrong on it, and then that's it. He's gonna be out for the entire series.
Well, let me say that the Milwaukee Bucks have pulled us, pulling away. They're 66-52 right now with 7:08 left in the third. So even without their key player, Milwaukee's they're pounding them in.
Yeah, like the late great Kobe has told the media and his own wife, Mrs. Bryant, it doesn't matter how hurt he is, how sick he was, or even if he was getting sick with a trash can next to him, he had played. He had to play to give the fans who they wanted to see. And,
exactly.
Giannis is going to bring that to mind, and if he doesn't start game one, he will be a game decision player to win it. So he's gonna play that in his mind, and he goes, "Okay, it doesn't matter how much pain I am in, or how bad my knee hurts. I'm gonna get out there and play through it, and I'm gonna wrap my knee up with some ice in between
Yeah.
resting." It's that's what it's gonna have to come down to.
You know, we were talking earlier, and this is what leads me to my woman fuzzy feeling tonight. Um, so let's play this, and then I'll explain my fuzzy feelings. This moment just makes you want to say, "Thomas!"
Nah,
That
is this a
award, that
this a woman?
award,
Okay.
huh?
No, I'm sorry. I was saying, is that a woman fuzzy feeling in your tum tum?
That woman fuzzy feeling, that award, that prestigious award here at the Skull Report, goes to the bandwagon fans that are jumping on Phoenix Suns right now. Yes, we see this every year. You know, now I'm glad they're where they're at. As a child growing up in my teenage years in the 80s and early 90s, I was a big Phoenix Sun fan. Okay? I'm glad they're where they're at. But some people have decided, at the beginning of the year, they put them down, they took shots at them, they said they'll never do this. And all of a sudden, now they're in the finals, and we're a big fan of them. And we have this in every sport, guys. We have this in every sport. You know,
And, yes, you're right. It happens in every sport, but all the bandwagons that are jumping with the Phoenix Suns are buying jerseys. But at the end of the season, you're gonna figure out what you're gonna have to do with the jersey. Well, you're the one that just put more money in their pockets. Like, you're the one that bought the jersey. They didn't force you to it. You can't
exactly.
say, "Oh, the Phoenix Suns organization forced us to do this." Like, no,
Yeah.
that's not how it works. That's
Like,
like that's like telling us, "Hey, Ralph, you got to go buy you a Tom Brady or an Aaron Rodgers jersey because you got to wear it all season, and that's who's going to the Super Bowl." That's being like trying to have him buy into it,
mm-hmm.
and then at the end of the season, he goes, "How am I going to get rid of this jersey?"
And-
Yeah. that's not gonna happen.
Well, see, the thing is, in my opinion, green and gold Devontae Adams jersey would look good.
I mean, now don't get me wrong. I've had a Green Bay hat before, and it was a nice hat, black with the Green Bay logo on it. I don't know whatever happened to that hat. I mean, I don't know if I lost it, somebody took it, or what. It was a nice hat, and I only wore that because of Brett Favre. I like Brett Favre. I mean, he had that freewheeling gunslinger mentality. That's just, I mean, I like it. So.
Right. So, out of due respect, bandwagons, you are a dumbass.
And Ralph told me, Ralph just whispered in my ear and said that he would proudly carry around a dumbass award before he carry around an Aaron Rodgers jersey. I'm just saying.
Let's put it this way. If let's put it this way, I will wear a New York Mets jersey before I would. Well, no. Let me take that back. I'll walk around with a dumbass trophy first, then an Aaron Rodgers jersey, then a New York Mets jersey, and before I'll put on a Pittsburgh Steelers jersey. I have put a Pittsburgh Steelers jersey on. Nice, badass jersey, all black, gold stitch. I told y'all about that. Roethlisberger, nice jersey. I mean, the minute I walked outside, I put it on, walked outside. Came back inside and took it off. Said, "Here, take it back. I can't wear it."
Ah,
I even had an old school Yancey Thigpen starter jersey. I don't know what the hell happened to it. So, me in Pittsburgh, the only thing that I got of Pittsburgh is the garter that my sister wore when she got married. Got married, and no, it was a garter. Yeah, it was a garter that my sister's husband threw up in there, and I caught it. Meaning I was the next to get married. And I didn't realize it was a Pittsburgh Steelers. It was a Pittsburgh Steelers garter until I saw it, and I was like, "Oh shit!" And I just held it up in there. I said, "It's the only thing that I'm gonna have that says Pittsburgh on it." Because I'm not.
well, let me give another score update before we move on to some other topic. The Milwaukee Bucks with 5:22 left in the third are up 71-57. Okay.
Not an insurmountable amount. It just Orlando's got to play smart. You know, just turn up the defense a little bit. You know, they not out of it just yet.
Yeah, well, before we switch over to another topic, this just proves the point that Milwaukee's playing smart basketball compared to Atlanta trying to overwork themselves to put the points on the board.
Exactly. And it goes down to that old thing. That one thing, work smarter, not harder. And, it seems like the Hawks do not what the Hawks need to do, this is just my personal opinion, and I'm not a basketball coach, but I used to play basketball in high school. What they need to do is regroup themselves. Take one of their timeouts, regroup themselves, come up with a better offensive play. I mean, and defense, because obviously with the score, they need to regroup themselves and figure out a smart way, because they're not out of it. I mean, we're only in the third quarter. We still got 5 minutes left in the third quarter. We got a whole entire fourth quarter. And they're not down by that much. I mean, 13 points in NBA is like nothing, They need to regroup and figure out a way to stop Milwaukee. I mean, if they want a chance to, force another game.
Yep.
So
Definitely.
all right, we got some news here. Even though we're in the off season, we do have some news that I'd like to cover, because I'd like to definitely get some opinions on everybody. First story coming out of there: the Washington football team has been fined $10 million. The way I understand it, they're being accused of covering up sexual misconduct among their, I believe it's in management. I don't believe any players have actually been accused of doing anything. Some people are saying that that's not enough. Some people are saying that that's too much. Some people are saying, show me more proof. There's all different sides. It reminds me of the Penn State thing with Sandusky and Joe and everything. And everybody that watched the Scar Report knows that, how I feel about that as being a former Penn State fan when I lived in Pittsburgh and watching their games. But so I'm kind of scared to see this happen again with Washington football team, which, by the way, I'm just going to say this. I hate that name. But you guys' thoughts on the Washington football team getting fined $10 million in this situation?
Well, I think most people wanted Dan Snyder to. They really want that. When this situation came up with the Carolina Panthers, they made the owners sell the team. Mm-hmm. They made the owners sell the team, and I think that's more so. That's what they wanted. What some people wanted. It's not so much the fine. Snyder got the money. That ain't the point. People want Snyder out of ownership. But unfortunately, that's not going to happen. To give the
Mm.
day-to-day operations over to his wife, okay, but he's still running the team. It's not. That's just no thing. That's just no doubt about no way around it. I mean, what they did in the workplace, that is wrong. You know, you don't want to you don't want to be sitting there, you driving to work, no matter male or female, sitting there talking, oh man, who's gonna mess with me today? Who's gonna tell who's gonna tell a dirty joke today? Who is going to harass me today? Who's gonna say something that's gonna make me want to just up and leave? Because you probably really want to knock the shit out, but you can't knock the shit out. So you just have to sit there and grin and bear it. Um, no, it's wrong. No matter what, it's wrong. Uh, NFL doing what they have to do. But like I said, the fine is nothing but a drop in the water to Snyder. The worst thing would have happened if they would have said, "Okay, Dan, you have to sell the team." That would have hurt more than that $10 million.
Yeah.
They probably didn't. They didn't go far enough, because if they made the owner of the Carolina Panthers sell the team, they should have made Snyder sell the Washington Football Team. What the fuck?
Right. And, I have to agree with what you say, Ralph. It would hurt more for them to force him to sell the Washington Football Team. But it's this, the ones that are being accused need to be out. Like, that is, the wrong thing to do in a workplace. Sexual harassment is the biggest thing in every workplace in the United States.
Exactly.
If you get somebody says, hey, this person done this, and they got proof, you're automatically terminated. Like, this is what needs to happen to make them open their eyes with the NFL. Instead of, we're just going to brush it off until, people proves more and more people come in and shows this and shows that. No. You got accused and they got it down on document, you're out of there.
Mm-hmm.
And
Here's
then,
my.
go ahead. Make him sell half his organization to somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
$10 million is just chump change to him.
Yep.
And then that $10 million ain't enough to me. Not as as many as people that's probably said, hey, these they sexual harassed me and sexual done this to me. That $10 million ain't gonna do nothing but $1 million for 10 people.
Exactly.
Get them out of office. Throw the law down on them.
My question is,
rush it.
My question is, we've talked about this on the Skull Report, about women becoming coaches in different sports, NBA, possibly having a female kicker on a NFL football team, a female coach, etc. When things like this happen, it bothers me because we've come so far in that area that it bothers me, because I feel like it's just going to be a setback.
Most definitely it's going to be a setback to these women trying to have a job in a man's sport like football, baseball, basketball. It's definitely going to go a setback. You got female referees that are doing NFL games. You got to watch out for them. You got to watch out for the female coaches that's probably going to be in the NBA. And especially, I think Kansas City has a female coach, an assistant of that now. I believe so. If I'm not wrong, but I have to get more information on that. But it's like Ralph owning a football team, and I'm one of his people that he pays to do scouting to find prospects football players to bring them in for training camp to see how they work out with draft picks, and they get accused for harassment. And he's gonna look at me and be like, "Hey, you brought this guy to me.
Yep,
Guess
pretty much,
what?
yeah.
I'm gonna have to fire you and him."
Jennifer King, this article was from January 26th of 2021. Jennifer King was promoted by the Washington football team to assistant running back coach, making her the first black woman to become the full-time coach in the NFL. That was back in January. Yeah, I mean, and I'm not just speaking because I am a woman. Yo, I'm looking at the sport as a whole. I don't like to see any sport get a black eye because of the stupidity
Mm-hmm.
of these guys. I mean, a woman football coach. Now I understand, especially the NFL, been a man's sport, and I'm not saying make a female a running back or a quarterback or a wide receiver or whatever. You know what I mean? But there's nothing wrong with having a female coach. She may do you some good, more good than you think.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I agree. I agree with that. As I hear fireworks go off in the background.
Huh? Yeah,
They pop a firecrackers out here. So.
yeah. We got a lot going off here. There's been some other fines handed down in the NFL. The Jaguars were fined $200,000, and Urban Meyer personally was fined $100,000. 49ers fined $100,000. Shanahan fined $50,000. Dallas, Ralph, fined $100,000, and McCarthy fined $50,000, all for breaking, I believe, what they called OSHA guideline because of COVID.
Wait, hold on. McCarthy got fined $50 million.
Yeah,
He
50,000.
should
I
have
mean,
got fined $200 million.
yeah, he got fined only $50,000, and the team as a whole got fined $100,000. So basically, what they did is that they fined the team, and then half of that they also fined the coaches. But I mean, this has been going on long enough that guidelines were put in place for a reason, and it's not that I don't have respect for these coaches and the team, but that's just stupid stuff that causes more distractions from what you're supposed to be doing. You guys just thoughts on that. I mean, this is a simple violation, but the NFL is not playing around. I can say that much.
Well, nowadays the NFL is cracking down more, like they should have done a long time ago. Crack the whip a little bit harder than what they've been doing. But now, since the NFL is taking notice and they're cracking a whip harder and cracking down, it's showing that the organizations, like, they're not playing around anymore. You're gonna do something dumb, we're gonna make your organization pay. And that $100 million could have signed, what, 3 or 4 more players?
100,000, not 100 million. 100,000.
100,000.
Yeah.
That could have, bought them a lot of Gatorade.
But I mean, the Jags got 200,000, which is a pretty decent chunk. But even the coaches personally getting $100,000. Myers, Shanahan, and McCarthy each getting fined $50,000.
That's coming out of their salary cap for their pay for the season, right out of the organization's pockets. You're breaking the laws, and the NFL is not going to cover your ass anymore. They're just going to make you pay for it now.
Exactly. Exactly. You're Ralph. Your thoughts on that situation with these fines being handed down?
Well, in the case of the Dallas Cowboys, they're gonna be on Hard Knocks this year, so all that money's gonna finna get made up right then and there.
Yeah, absolutely. They're gonna make their
You
money
know,
back being on our knocks anyway.
but these violations. I mean, it just said uh, they're just trying to they're basically trying to put. I just look at them trying to push the boundaries of what they can and can't do, and there's some things you just can't do. Yeah, because you get caught, you get caught, you get fined. I mean, Urban Meyer should learn that the hard because you're gonna find that out the hard way anyway. Because in the NCAA, yeah, he can basically he had full autonomy over the team. He don't have full autonomy over the team because while he can probably say this, that, and whatever to the athletic director at Ohio State or Utah or Florida, they'll be like, okay, you can't do that now. You can't do that now in the NFL. You can't do that you definitely can't do that to the Cons.
Yep.
I mean, they one thing about the Cons. I mean, I understand Jacksonville. 9 times out of 10, who wants to go to Jacksonville? But I mean, Jacksonville, if breaks would have went their way, they could have been in the Super Bowl already.
Mm-hmm.
That's just how close that's how close Jacksonville had been, being a better team than what they are now.
Yeah.
It's just like I said, you got these rules, whether they off season rules, OSHA rules. You have these rules to where you gotta follow them, you gotta abide by them. If not, you're gonna pay.
Exactly.
No team is above the NFL. I mean, Roger Goodell is not above the NFL. I mean, hell, Goodell is just paid by the owners, so he is there. He's their puppet.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, they violate, they need to pay. Don't matter what team they are.
Yep.
So,
Let's give a I want to talk about something else, but let's give a quick update here. The Bucks are up 94-75 with 10:56 left in the game.
And starting Tuesday night, game 1 of the NBA Finals between Milwaukee and Phoenix.
Yep.
Plus strawberry, it tastes good.
And the Hawks just scored a 3-pointer. It was right before I pressed the button. It was 94-71. So let's talk about. I don't have a video for this yet, but let's talk about something that I didn't even write down in my note. The NCAA had agreed to let players actually earn income from their likeness and all that. All I gotta say is, finally, and I know Ralph, you agree with me. You go ahead and give your opinion on that.
I mean, this is great news. Great news. I mean, I remember back when the EA Sports was playing if they had the NCAA game, football game. I at one point, crazy of me, because I've done a lot of crazy things. I was going to go by each college football team and put the name of the starting of the first team and second team, quarterback, linebackers, everybody on there. I got through the A's, and once I realized how many teams there were, I said, I ain't doing this shit. But it's fun. But it's these kids. I mean, these kids. They love Angelina. Yes.
Hi, Angelina.
Hi, Angelina.
Miss you
Happy
too.
4th of July
Happy
to you
4th of
too.
July.
Happy 4th.
Okay.
But my opinion is, these players are out there, they're busting their ass, they're doing the work, but the organization is making money off the jersey number and their performance. That's just not right. That's not fair in anything.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that a college football player should be making millions for playing for, like, let's say, Ohio State, but they should get something because like when you put, you guys know when you play the NCAA football game when it was around, um, the likeness, the performance was based off of what they had done on the field the year before.
Right.
So
And
if the guy
also,
was good, he'd be good in your game.
yeah, and also in that game, they did come up with situations in which a player did something wrong that could have been about that's a violation that was a
Uh,
violation, and you had to sit there and either let it slide or you had to discipline the player. I mean, I had
mhm.
that happen. I had that happen to me. I'm not gonna lie. I had my star player, one of my star players. He screwed up. I let him slide. Somebody else, I gave him the hammer. I dropped the hammer on that person. You know, it
Uh-huh.
it was wrong. It was wrong of me to do that, but I was like, you know, you know, I just, it was one of those situations. I ain't saying it was a moral situation, but it was just one of those situations which if I let this person slide, now I gotta let this, the other guy slide. It just, it's just one of those type of situations. But it is. I mean, but it is great. It's great that they do that because I've always told my kids. I always told my kids about this. I always told my sons about this. That there you go, Angie. There you go, right there. But I would tell my sons how the guy at the local burger joint, he know a couple of football players, he know they not eating, he know that they hungry, they don't have enough, and he
Yeah.
sits there and make them something to eat, make he sit there and make them some burgers or feed them, and I know that's out of the goodness of his heart. It's a violation,
Yep.
hell, if I ever watch Pony Excess, SMU was bringing people in. They were bringing players in, and damn, this guy Bankston Nissan. Damn near every football player had a car for Bankston Nissan.
Yep.
I mean, they were paying players out the ass here in Texas. Didn't matter what
There you go,
university you
BG
went
Money.
to. They were paying players out the ass. I ain't gonna lie. I was 12, 13 years old and I wanted party. Damn junior high school, damn high school. I wanted to go to SMU, and hell, if they would have paid me out the ass, yeah, they would have paid me out the ass, and I'd be like Eric Dixon. I wouldn't say a
Well,
word.
with them,
But
with the
now they're able to do this. They're able to have some type, get some type of compensation because they're bringing in millions of dollars. I mean, Alabama wins the national championship. They bring in a truckload of money not only for themselves but for every school in the SEC. If Notre Dame ever win the national championship again, that money's all theirs. They're not associated with a conference.
exactly,
Yep.
You know,
with college, the colleges for the NCAA football now getting paid, that also helps with their college players' education to help pay for it more to
Uh-huh.
get them through, and that still has money in their pocket to, make sure they're financially set when they get out of college
Exactly.
and they get into
yeah,
the NFL draft so they can have money to travel to where they need to go instead of trying to borrow from the family that's all tapped out because they got sent to, college on that money.
Uh-huh.
yeah. And then you have schools like, let's say, Texas Southern University. Texas Southern University, they go to Alabama. They get beat 74, 70, 57, 10, and Alabama give them $1 million to get this ass.
Yep.
That ass whooping done paid for the men's basketball team, the women's basketball team, the baseball team. That done paid for all the athletics. That's why you have these lower level schools. They take that ass whooping because the financial payout of that ass whooping helps the whole entire athletics program. That's why
Exactly.
you see Alabama playing fake military university, the Citadel, stuff like that.
Hmm.
I mean, I need to stop calling the Citadel fake military institute, but I mean, I mean,
Well, since we're later in the show, in case you guys did not, some of our viewers have come in case you did not catch the beginning of the show, the Scar Report has a major announcement. I'd like to go over it again. Starting in August, every month we will raise money for a different foundation or charity. The month of August is for the SMA Foundation, which is the Spinal Muscular Atrophy Foundation. It's a really bad disease. I've read up on it. It affects your motor function, affects the central nervous system. And I also read a very sad thing on there that when you get diagnosed with it, 95% of people only live about 18 months after the diagnosis. So this is something, here at the Scar Report, we love our fans, we appreciate our fans, we appreciate our communities. And we're, the three of us, for example, are from all around the country. So we together want to come together and support something that can help other people. So please stay tuned for more details and ways that you can donate to the SMA Foundation in August. We'll be working on all of that to get the details to you. And every month we'll have a foundation or charity that we would donate to. So I just want to thank everybody for tuning in that was listening to that. Right now, 102-91 with 6:22 left in the fourth quarter.
Milwaukee. Woo! Now, before we swap over to another segment, I seen this, and I want to share it because I think he should get the highest payout. Because he is one of the best wide receivers with missing so many amount of games last season, and come back to do it. And to get that many yards and many touchdowns and multiple 5-game touchdowns is report Davante Adams and the Green Bay Packers are working on a massive new deal to keep him. That's big for Davante.
Yeah.
Davante had other teams looking at him before signing with Green Bay. He could have been a Cowboy. He could have been a 49er or a Chief, but he came to Green Bay because he wanted to play with the calibers on the backbones on Brett Starr and Brett Favre and all them other greats that has played with Green Bay, like Charles Wilson and that. Charles Wilson. Yeah, Charles, the last name I get. So,
all right.
So
well,
sorry.
let's hit into our. Huh? What was that? Let's hit into our next segment real quick. Some wrestling news going on. First of all, Edge returns. Loved it. Really loved it. Bobby Lashley still on top of the world over Monday Night Raw as the WWE Champion. He will be facing Kofi Kingston at Money in the Bank. As of right now, there is no competitor written in stone for Roman Reigns. Am I correct, Rob?
There's nobody in stone. I mean, Edge is giving he's putting his hat in. He's going out there. He's spearing everybody in sight. He's beating up on Jimmy Uso. I'm gonna try to throw my hat in the ring. I would like to go up against the tribal chief myself. I will not acknowledge him. I will tell him, Joe, you are not the one. because this is Swagger's world. And then after that, he does Superman. He hit me with one Superman punch, and that's it. I'm done.
So Fiji Money must have been having some technical difficulties. Zelina Vega is back, Ralph. Um, she's now in the Money in the Bank women's match. Also, WWE basically had apologized to her for her firing a while back. One interesting note that I found out was that Zelina Vega posted on her Twitter about unionization. And we've talked before about having a union type situation in wrestling in WWE. But mysteriously, after she was brought back by WWE, that tweet disappeared, was deleted. No longer there. Um, it's the political game of the WWE and the wrestling industry, Ralph. You know.
I mean, this. I mean, you already know. Unfortunately, as big a corporation as WWE is, as much money as they make,
Mhm.
they don't have no comprehensive health plan for their wrestlers. Everybody, they have every wrestler that comes up there once they get their contract, they got to get their own health insurance. They got to get their own life insurance. They got to get their own dental insurance. I mean, because WWE is not paying for it. They got, you know,
Well,
they got.
what pisses me off, Ralph, is that I forget who the most recent, but let's say somebody like a wrestler gets. They said like when Edge got hurt and he had to retire, or Daniel Bryan or Bret Hart or anybody, WWE would come out and say, "Oh, well, we're gonna help with some of the medical expenses, or we're gonna send this wrestler to rehab for a drug or alcohol issue and stuff." So we're good, we're good. But you know what? You should be doing that because of what these men and women have given to you and your company and have made that company. You should be helping them out. Not, I'm not going to give you a pat on the back for helping out somebody who's made you millions and millions of dollars.
Right. Right. I mean, because I know I was speaking to my lovely wife about this, and I told her that wrestlers just like singers and actors, they are performers, except
Hmm.
that wrestlers actually they sit there, they take the bumps, they on the road. I mean, it's 365 days a year. There you got some of them that's on the road 300 days, sometimes doing two shows a day. You know, his body is ravaged and racked with pain. So you're gonna start taking those painkillers. Then you're gonna start getting used to taking those painkillers. You wake up in the morning, I got a
Yep,
little twitch right here, popping pills. You know,
exactly.
and after a while, it's not. You just can't pop two Excedrin and that's it. You gotta pop three or four, 5, 10, the whole damn bottle.
Hmm.
Then you gotta get something stronger to where it becomes an addiction. Look at Kurt Angle. I mean, all the times he broke his neck.
Yep,
I mean, he was just popping them pills, popping pills. He was popping all them pills, and he was a fucking animal in TNA. I mean, that's when he was really at his worst. He was at his best in the damn ring. Now, just say if he wasn't taking them damn pills. Just say if he wasn't taking them pills of pain. We'll be saying, what if about Kurt Angle? What if his body would have lasted long enough to where he can be at the top of his game? He was at the top of his game while on them pills. You know?
exactly. Exactly. And Angelia, I'll bring this up again. I want to thank you for that. Yes, Justin Mad Dog Hicks,
Oh
my
man.
co-host,
Oh
he
my
lost his
god.
grandmother yesterday
Oh.
morning. Grandma Frankie, who I never met but just adored because of her fighting spirit. Um, so we
Uh,
would definitely keep Justin and his family in our prayers and thoughts during this difficult time. Um, but I do know one thing for a fact. I have a sister on my Facebook. They are taking this 4th of July and using it as a celebration of life for their grandma. So I was, glad to hear that it seems like everybody's taking it pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when my grandmother passed. I mean, we knew it was coming. I knew it was coming, but then just to hear the words that she gone,
Yeah.
it's still painful. Even thinking about it this day, I still think about it. I mean, I know what I know what Justin's going through. So I know, and I hope he taking everything. I hope he taking I mean, I really don't know what to say. I just
Yeah.
know if Justin, if you're listening to this show, whether live or later on, if you need to holler at me, send me a message, give me a call. We can sit, we can talk.
Yep. All right, let's do a live score. The Hawks have pulled in with an 8, 107 to 99, with 3:57 left in the game. So, yes, Angelina, yeah, she'd been sick for a while. Fortunately, but our thoughts and prayers go out to him.
Yeah, that like I said, basically what she said, we already knew in my family. It
Mhm.
just, you know, uh,
Oops.
it just, you know, I still remember that night that my mom called me and told me, you know,
Yeah.
so.
All right. Mr. Ralph, do you have some NASCAR? I will play our.
Skirt, skirt. No.
There we go.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you, Angelina. Thank you, Angelina. Uh, I'm going to pull over. Uh, I'm going to pull over. Well, I done felt a vibration. I'm coming in to change the tires. It's late in the race. Trying to get that good position in here. But boy, do I got some news for y'all this week. And I am not talking about on the track. I'm talking about off the track. I'm gonna lead this off with the
He's
silly
not talking
season.
about Need for Speed or Fast and Furious. He's talking about that NASCAR report.
Yeah, because this is for NASCAR because I've already mentioned silly season, basically meaning that drivers changing teams getting sold, and all that. We're gonna start off here. Brad Keselowski, he currently races for Team Penske. He drives the number 2 car. It was a number 2 Miller Lite car, discount tire car, Freightliner car, Detroit Allison engine car. But the number 2, he is going to leave Team Penske at the end of this season, and he's going to join Roush Fenway Racing as a driver owner. Roush Fenway Racing gave him a chance to be an owner, and he's going to take that. That's beginning next year. Now, Team Penske though they haven't stated who will drive the number 2 car, but you're hearing it from me. Uh, their Xfinity driver, Austin Cindric, will be driving the number 2 car next year. He was slated to drive the number 21 car for the Wood Brothers, which meant that Matt DiBenedetto would have been out of the ride. But what's going to happen is Austin Cindric is going to drive the 2. Matt DiBenedetto is going to get his contract re-up. He was on a 1-year deal. He's going to get re-up, and he will be driving the number 21 for the Wood Brothers next year. Now, even bigger news. This happened a couple of days ago. Trackhouse Racing. Now, this team is owned by Justin Marks and also Pitbull. They say this real name in the article, but I forgot it. Pitbull is also a part owner of this team. They have acquired Chip Ganassi Racing. Now, Chip Ganassi been around since the mid '90s. Been around since 2000, 2001, in which they acquired Sabco Racing for Felix Sabates, to where it was Chip Ganassi Racing with Felix Sabates. Well, at the end of this year, Trackhouse Racing will acquire all the NASCAR equipment and both charters from Chip Ganassi Racing, and next year they will field a 2-car team. Their driver right now, Daniel Suarez, will be on the team next year, and they're doing pretty good this year. Now that means you got another, which means they have one position open, and Ross Chastain or Kurt Busch, both drivers of Chip Ganassi Racing, they probably gonna end up filling one of those spots. More than likely, I think it's gonna be Ross Chastain with Kurt Busch going over to 2311 Racing, because 2311 Racing is trying to get a charter. They said they will field a second team, which means they may or may not get a charter. The thing about getting a charter is you're guaranteed a spot in the race, and you'll get paid more money if you win. If you don't get a charter, you still race, but your winnings won't be as much. I mean, it costs about $10 million to get a charter. So if you're a team starting out, buying that charter, that's the hardest thing. But if you're already an owner and you don't want to do this no more, well, there you go. You got a $10 million ticket to where if anybody wants it, they'll pay you for it. Trackhouse leased the charter from Spire Motorsports. Well, now they're gonna have a guarantee. They definitely gonna have, when they acquiring Chip Ganassi Racing, they're definitely guaranteed 2 spots. Kaulig Racing, as I reported, they're moving up to NASCAR Cup Series next year. They already have 2 charters. Dale Jr. with Junior Motorsports, he's talking about he might do it. He don't know yet, but he might. This is the best time for him to get on there. 2311 Racing, Bubba Wallace, Michael Jordan, Denny Hamlin team. They might do this. They might get a second team. And like I was saying, Kurt Busch may be the prime candidate for the silly season. And of course, with Brad Keselowski going to Ross Fenway, more than likely he's going to drive the number 6, which means Ryan Newman may be out of he's going to be out of a job. Now I'm just sitting there saying that, I'm just speculating that it might be, the 6. Who knows? Ross Fenway might try to get a third team going. You never know. But the silly season is hot and heavy in NASCAR right now. I mean, I can just end the racing segment right now. Don't tell y'all nothing else about no other races. Just this alone is enough to fill everything out. But I gotta continue. So I'm gonna make everything real quick. They're racing in Austria once again in Formula One this week. Max Verstappen has got the pole. Who's starting second? It's not Lewis Hamilton. It's not Valtteri Bottas. It's not Charles Leclerc, or Charles Leclerc if you want to say that. It is Lando Norris for McLaren, which means for the first time since the 2012 Brazilian Grand Prix, in which Lewis Hamilton, when he was racing for McLaren Mercedes, and Jenson Button was on the front row, that McLaren has a person starting on the front row. Now, as far as Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas, they are qualified 4th and 5th. Right now, Mercedes is falling behind on Red Bull, and if they don't catch up, they're gonna be looking at Max Verstappen's Red Bull ass winning the championship. In IndyCar, Joseph Newgarden and Ishai Colton Herta for the pole position at the Honda Indy 200 in Mid-Ohio tomorrow on the 4th of July. In Xfinity racing today, Kyle Busch took advantage of a late wreck, and he also had fresher tires. He went on to win the Henry 180 at Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. This is his 4th NASCAR Xfinity Series victory in 4 starts. He can only start 5. He has one more. It might be, I think it's in Atlanta. And then that's it. With that victory, he has extended his series record of victories to 101. So by the time he get through racing Xfinity Series races this year, he gonna have 102, and he might not race Xfinity anymore after that because he already said if he get to 100, he's gonna retire. And as far as NASCAR Cup goes, the Jockey Made in America 250, they qualified. The qualifications start at 11:05 Eastern time in the morning, and the race is at 2:30 Eastern time. And basically that's it. I mean, right now, the silly season is as deep and hot as ever in NASCAR. So I mean, I could just do a section of silly season alone. That's just how it is in NASCAR, and it can change. It can change in the drop of a hat. And so, since we done found out what that vibration is, and I haven't lost a lap, let me go ahead and pull on out. Back to you, Jen and BG.
All right. BG Money, do you have any AEW? You weren't on when we did the wrestling, but if you want to cover that real quick.
Yes, I do have a little bit of AEW that on behalf of Shady, I'm gonna give it to you. We have MGF beating Sammy Vita due to interference with a chair shot to the head. Sammy down by Sean Spears. Why Wardlow? Is that how you pronounce his name? Wardlow. Had the referee distracted because he was beating up Jericho on the outside. So sure why the ref wasn't paying attention to the action in the ring when Wardlow and Jericho were not even in the match. And next week, Pena El Medio, I don't know his name that well.
Pita El Zero, Miero.
Yeah, Zero. And Eddie Kingston gets a shot at the AEW Tag Team Championships against the Young Bucks after defeating the Bucks on Dynamite this week. And that's your AEW news.
All right. We do have a little bit of this. If I can find it. There we go. All right. Little bit of news. I believe I read today that the Tampa Bay Lightning, who Monday night will be playing, hopefully for them, the last game in the Stanley Cup finals. Unfortunately, they'll be playing Monday night in Montreal, Canada. And the family members of the Tampa Bay Lightning will not be allowed to travel into Canada as of right now to be there for the victory because of the COVID-19 14-day quarantine rule between Canada and the U.S. Just a sad situation. It's not nobody's doing anything wrong. Nobody's doing anything wrong. They're trying to get an exception to the rule, but really, it doesn't look like it's going to happen.
Well, from my point of view, and I'm bringing back going back to the whole NBA situation where the Suns is getting a little bit more rest than the team that is playing right now, going in on short rest. And Tampa Bay has proven that. Tampa Bay is up 3-0 on the Canadiens. And I don't see the Canadiens pulling it out Monday. But by any means necessary, if they do, that would be fantastic. But I see Tampa Bay closing it out Monday and being back-to-back champions, along with Pat Maroon being a 3-time Stanley Cup champion.
I mean, it is unfortunate, but I mean, that just letting you know that the COVID situation, I know, is getting better. In some places, it's not getting better. They still have the restrictions, but of course, BG, you're right. I do see Tampa Bay going. I do see Tampa Bay going to Montreal, Quebec, Canada. Um, they won Game 3. They've been controlling. I have seen Tampa. I have seen Tampa play the Islanders at every game, and also so far I've been watching the games except for last night. I didn't see the game last night, but every game I saw Tampa play, they've been controlling the narrative. They've been controlling the games. Um, they've been playing great defense. Balaneski been playing. He's been playing good goal, good work at the goalie. Stamkos, Kucherov, rest of the Tampa Lightning have been playing great defense. It's going to be once again. They have a tone. Going to have their backs up against the wall. They gonna come out swinging and fighting, but it's all going to be for naught. I did say 6, but like I said, I can't see Tampa staying in Canada no later than Monday night. This is a wrap for me. It's gonna be
Yeah.
it's
No,
gonna be a
ladies and
sweep.
gentlemen, we're not talking about playing NHL 21 on the video game on PlayStation 4. This is real life, and Tampa Bay on short rest has put in more work.
I mean, I have not seen Tampa trail at all. They have not trailed at all throughout these playoffs. They've been on top. They might not be on top after that first period, but after that second period, they always on top. 1-0, 2-1, 3-1. In that third period, I mean, they playing that hard. They playing that defense. They shutting it down. They getting the goal. They getting the goals when they need them. Like this is this is as close to as an easy thing as possible. I mean, if you want to lay money down on this, lay money down. I mean, I'm going to predict that Game 4 will go to Tampa Bay. They will win 3-1, probably 4-1 on an empty net goal, and they will bring the Stanley Cup back to Florida. And damn, I ain't gonna lie, I would love to be in the Republic of Florida, holding on to that Lord Stanley Trophy, drinking out of it.
Because you heard it. You heard it here on the Skull Report.
Wait, hold on.
Ralph
wait a minute.
Swagger's prediction.
You know, the Blues chopped liver. You know, that could have been the Blues right now, but you know, sadly it's not.
Yeah.
If it ends Monday night, congratulations to Tampa on 2 years back to back. And I would hate to say this, but we got breaking news for the basketball game. Milwaukee Bucks are going to the NBA Finals, 118-107. It will be the Suns versus Milwaukee.
Now I will say
Six.
the Hawks tried to come back at the end. They'll probably if we had another 5 minutes on the clock, we might have been able to have a better chance. Unfortunately, that's not how the world works.
Right.
But congratulations to the Milwaukee Bucks and the Phoenix Suns. Who one of them will be an NBA champion.
Absolutely. And I think when we was talking about the NBA Finals and with the regular season, we was calling for the Bucks to go somewhere, but we wasn't expecting them to go to the NBA Finals.
As a matter of fact, I believe that I heard on the Skull Report that a few people picked the Lakers to repeat. Yours truly did not. I just want to throw that in there.
I mean, everybody probably thinks the Lakers are going to repeat anyway, but it was just that coming off the season that they had. Well, of course, I mean, cause look at it. At this time last year, I had COVID. I wouldn't have been. We did if we did the sports. If we would have did the score report on July 3rd, 2020, I'd have been laboring my ass off. I've been barely breathing. I probably would have left. I probably left y'all comments saying I can't do this. I gotta go. Because I couldn't sit here and do it.
Yeah.
Because I was in the middle. I was right in the middle of having COVID.
Yeah.
But you know what? I still would have. I still would have made it through because that's just how this is how I am.
Yeah.
So with as crazy a season as the NBA had, and then the turnaround was as soon as they won a championship, they already had the draft. Then they had to start. Then they had to start the preseason. Then they started the season up. They just cut 10 games off, and then on top of that, they had an All-Star game. I mean, hell, LeBron wasn't too crazy about that. I wasn't too crazy about that. I'm like, damn, why you gonna have an All-Star game? I mean, nobody ain't gonna be there. I mean, they only had the All-Star game because TNT wanted it. Because Turner wanted it. With just going the way it's going, I mean, the one shining thing about this whole situation was the Suns was in the bubble. They went 8-0. They went 8-0 in the bubble. As bad as they did the whole year before the league shut down because of the pandemic, they came back and they were 8-0. So they had momentum, kind of had momentum going into this season, and it just picked up. I mean, getting Chris Paul was just the icing, basically the icing on the cake, and really, it can't get much. It can't get no sweeter than them winning a championship. I mean, this not. Hell, this not even. This not even the best Suns team that they put on the floor. I mean, the best Suns team they put on the floor lost to the Bulls in 6 games in Chicago against Chicago in 1993. That's when you had Kevin Johnson at the point guard. You had Thunder Dan Marley. You had Barkley.
Yeah.
You had going up against Jordan, and Jordan probably making up shit just to be motivated to play.
Yep.
Then again, Jordan might hear this right now and be like, "Yeah, I'll take this to a 4-hour basketball." But then again, hell, you got three people here wearing glasses. This is
This is
all glass. This is all glasses sports. This is all glasses Skull Report.
Okay.
Michael Jordan. I apologize for Ralph Struggling. I will fire him immediately. Thank you.
You ain't gonna do nothing, Gene. I mean, look, Jordan can look. All Jordan got to do one quick move, and I'm already gonna blow my damn knee out. So that's revenge right there. So you ain't gotta call him on. You ain't gotta call Jordan. You ain't gotta call Mike.
Sit here and talk about what Jordan can do for you or do to you. Finals this year. There's no Lakers in that talk at all. It's Phoenix Suns and Milwaukee Bucks.
Yep.
That's like Pittsburgh versus the Packers in the Super Bowl.
In Dallas.
Yeah.
All right. Well, first of all, before we come to an end, I want to remind everybody that next month, starting in August, we will be holding a campaign to donate to the SMA Foundation. So please stay tuned for more things. I do have a 20-second thing that I'm going to play for our fans, guys, because it is the 4th of July. But we here at the Skull Report want to wish everybody a safe and happy 4th of July. Tomorrow night, do yourself a favor. Keep your pets inside. Keep an eye on them. You guys have anything you want to say before we go off the air?
This has been a crazy. This basically sports wise has been a crazy week with the news in NASCAR, especially with the NCAA. I mean, Reggie Bush wants his Heisman Trophy back. He wants the stats reinstated. He wants that national championship back for USC. I don't think it would happen because the NCAA they still gonna be hardliners no matter what.
Yep.
And you know, I mean, you can sit there and say that, but unfortunately, during that time period, those were the rules. As much as I didn't like them, Reggie Bush didn't like them, or anybody else didn't like them. Those were the rules, and
Yep. When
you
you
know,
break the rules, you gotta pay the consequences. Unfortunately,
yeah. I
um,
mean,
Andalia, thank you very much. We love you too. BG Money, you want to say anything before we end this show?
Most of all, you know, be safe out there. God bless America.
All right. Peace. We're out. And like BG Money said, God bless America. Thank you for joining us at the Skull Report every Saturday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Be there or be square. Peace. We're out.